Hi, traders. It's Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. It must be time for the insights and perspectives of Mike Venezia and myself. And we're here to lay it out on the table with what we have conviction. We're not afraid to say, I don't know. We're not afraid to say we were wrong. And we're not afraid to, um, say we were right and hope that you took what we said seriously. So, Mike, great to be with you. How are you today?
I'm doing okay, Coach. Thanks for asking. I'm doing all
All
right.
right. So, I mean, we have to start off with, the blowout earnings of NVIDIA. It's the third time in a row they did it. But I'm going to start with the S&P chart on the squeeze. I did a short here Monday, it worked. Tuesday, it worked. Wednesday, I tried it again, just blew me out. But we're back underneath the throwover line. And what's interesting about where the S&P stopped, if you just look left, halfway back of the whole decline was 44.72. And the high here was 44.76,
A
close
big
enough for,
number.
yeah, close enough for government work. Market looks like it's in trouble.
That's fair.
Apple giving it back. What I want to ask you, and this was really the overnight trade. You had a chance to sell AMD up there at about 112 when it rallied in sympathy with NVIDIA
It very
last night.
it very simply showed, Coach. I posted in TGH. Stocks like Riven was down.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Netflix was down in the morning. AMD, the most was up, I think, 2%. I was
yeah,
commenting Roku should have been up $4 just on pin action.
yeah. So
Amazon, they showed their hand early on. Apple was up $1. You know what I mean? They could have went the other way. But as Nvidia was fading in the morning, and it
yeah.
was a slow fade, it was a drip. It wasn't. They didn't try to get you out or give you that fake pull out for it to get everybody. It's just been a drill. It's been it's been distributed.
You know how many people bought NVIDIA on the earnings report last night? And here I want to say it one more time. I'm going to say it pretty loud. People who buy headlines today sell newspapers tomorrow.
Coach,
Now,
I was taught to double down on that, edify that the majority of these low float or any stock that I'm in, I don't want there to be news. I want the news to come out, and I want there to be a rumor. It's always sell the news. Any of these other stocks, you see, why is it up that day? Usually with option flow that we come very closely with, whether it's not that day or maybe subsequently shortly thereafter. Not always, though. There is some sort of news after, and that edifies your statement. That's the time to sell.
yeah, so people were front running the deal. They rallied the market into the earnings. Everyone got what they wanted. And
Correct. That's
the
well put.
real vote is people said, wow, what a gift to sell. And, I want to just take a quick look because, I'm a believer that one stock isn't going to hold up the whole market. NVIDIA cannot be the savior of us not having a correction. So here's the SMH, same type of thing. This is a very important inflection point in SMH. It's the semiconductor ETF. It's a lower high. We had 5 down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this was ABC. We're going to be taking out these lows in short order, and semis are in trouble. And I think they're one of the best shorts on the board right now. Um, Even if you didn't sell the high of the day, you're $6 off of this. Sell rips. And just want to leave it with a couple other things. The bonds had a pretty good day yesterday. TLT, we're down a little bit today. Maybe there's one more shot down in the bonds, but I did want to show this British pound trade that I talked about on my video yesterday. I said I don't believe this triple bottom will hold. When you try and knock a door down, Mike,
Yeah.
you lower your
They tried to,
shoulder.
well, usually they try to knock my door down.
Okay, they do just to just to hang out with you, and that's why I'm volunteering to be your bodyguard,
I
especially
appreciate
all
that.
the
You gotta
women.
get in line.
All right, so you put your shoulder like hey, Tim would hit the door. I mean, he's a strong guy,
Yeah, he
and
is.
the first time it weakens, and the second time it weakens a little bit more. but the third time you just blast through it. So I called yesterday's low in cable a hope low, and looks like it's becoming hopeless. It's going to generate, again, the dollar's going to rally with risk off
No.
as
Yeah,
a flight to safety.
that's correct.
So, and the last thing is, um, I called this rally in the metals last week. I
Yes, you
will
did. You
say,
helped me. I'm
I
still
will,
in.
okay, I will say that silver surprised me to the upside. I was looking for maybe 23 and a half, 24, but gold hasn't surprised me to the upside. I
Well, look
mean,
at
its rally is pretty weak. Maybe it's got 1930 in it.
Coach, they're taking option flow, which I'll get into. GDX, they're
Oh, they
pressing it.
are.
They are pressing
Okay.
GDX.
All right. So maybe there's something more going on,
We'll
and
talk
maybe
after.
this.
I'm going to write it down. I'll
All
remember to
right.
say it, but please finish.
All right. So maybe this was an important bottom. I was thinking we'd have one more, finish this rally and go down one more time. But we'll see. That could change my mind. Option flow could change my mind. And then the next big trade for next week is a lot of people are starting to write off the yen because yields fell dramatically yesterday. But I said on the video we'd have ABC and then one
Yeah,
more push to new highs,
right.
maybe 47.80, 48 something next week. And I think a very significant yen top is developing, which will then go hand in hand with some lower yields and also safe haven buying if this break, which I think is going to continue in the S&Ps to at least 4,200.
Him uses
And
that as a lot as a gauge
and I just want
volatility.
to, and this is it, and I'm going to shut up, but I do want to show this one thing on that I have on Twitter because this is pretty important. We work so hard to make money and to build capital and to build equity. But there's a guy named Martin Weiss. Ever hear of Weiss Research,
Yeah, I think
Mike?
sure.
Okay.
There's a lot of
And
Weisses around Wall Street. I'm not gonna.
all right, I know, but this guy wrote The Great Money Panic. He's, they keep an eye on credit watches on companies and everything. You have to look at this article about how many banks could fail, um, which would accelerate in a recession. And there are banks that are safer than others. And, he's been saying don't keep more than what you need every month for living expenses and operations if you're in business. But check this out. I have it on my Twitter. It's a
I'd rather
great
not
art.
read. I'll read the headline. I don't like. I understand it, and if you say he's accredited,
He is. He
next.
is. He
But
is. He's
I
not just
don't.
a hypester. So you know,
Your boy
you're
Michael Guyed thinks there's going to be a credit, and so he's running.
yeah,
He's already in the bunker.
yeah, yeah. So am I. So banks
True,
and
you are
credit
actually.
unions. Well, look at what you were just saying Tuesday about your wife never seeing more delinquencies on auto loans and mortgages in her whole career.
And she's been there for. Oh, she's been as this executive at this credit that she blows what's going on. Believe me, for about a decade. And there's, like I said, there's been COVID. There's been some ominous. Okay, there's been some testing times in the last
Yeah.
decade. Now, why is this particular time? Maybe it is the election. It certainly looks like it's going to be a credit.
No, it's because you have to pay double of what you paid a few years ago for almost everything.
Yeah, it's bad. You know what?
Yeah, everything, Mike. So I mean, you could have a cheap mortgage, but and your health insurance, everything is extremely higher, not minor, but extremely higher. Okay, so check out your bank and don't be with just one institution. We could reach a point where they limit withdrawals to
Well, you
stop
know what?
capital flight.
Listen, not to pontificate, and as a person who somehow passed them all the licenses, including the Series 7, you should always be diversified anyway.
Yeah.
I have the people saying, come to me, I want you to trade. I say, you out of here, but don't, I wouldn't let me trade my own portfolio. And that's not because of my results. It's because of just that's the,
It's smart to diversify away from yourself,
you
right?
have to. And you know what? That's why when I trade, I'm always mixed. There's always a problem. Not a problem. you know, unless there's always something to finagle or work out of or work into, because I'm not, you know, I'm hedged. I'm a hedge guy. That's why I don't blow out. You know, and I'm
Okay.
not going to knock on wood because of that. That's really the reason. You know what I mean? I'm not afraid of
Okay.
that. But,
All
you know,
right.
there's always all right.
So go ahead. You were talking about wise guy action. What are we looking at here?
Let me share the proper screen here to show you what was going on as we were speaking. And Coach, you could probably break this down better. GLD October call spreads ahead of Powell flying. Now they're buying the entity, not the stocks. Okay, another one right before. Hold on. Let me go down here. Where are we? Okay, this is what? Fear and greed sentiment. We're still mixed. We're in the 50s.
Yeah.
And you know what? As euphoric as it got, whatever, a month ago, it could get down here just as much if what comes to fruition looks like it's happening. And I have a lot of stocks to edify that, you know, sans a couple of chip stocks. So let's keep going. They had more cues.
They had
Here's
NVIDIA
the
bearish
GDX taking
action.
sweep. Here's the chart on the GDX, Coach, taking sweeps.
Okay. All
Where
right.
else did they go?
And they're going out to October.
Gold, they're going January,
All right.
GOLD.
That's pretty good.
That's the most. Kansas City Fed, they're playing AAOI. I'm shorted, as you should know. That's about it. But the bottom line is they're going into not much cooking. They're going into some longer dated. Maybe I'm not sure if it's, maybe you could dissertate better. If they're hedging the move or backing it. I'm not sure.
Well, I don't know, man. I don't think the low that we had at 1890 is going to be the low of the break, because I'm still a dollar bull, even if there's a dollar pullback. I showed the cable chart. Euros had a hard time rallying. Maybe we're getting closer. Maybe it all changes tomorrow, and Paul talks like a dove, and yields really drop. That's going to be constructive for the metals and destructive for the dollar, and it would bring risk back in. But I don't know. Do you have any gut feeling about how Powell is going to dance tomorrow?
You know what, I don't. I usually do. And I'm saying I play it.
Yeah.
I don't. You know why, Coach? Seriously, I can't be more. I'm kind of playing and reading the headlines later. When stocks that we've been calling out, like VFS, all day long, this is today's open. It went from 37 to 58. You know, that's what we're doing. Stocks like Abercrombie and Fitch, then in 2 days went from 41 to 53. Stock Disney breaking 10-year lows.
Wow.
I'm interested in. Okay, obviously you've been knowing I've been working out of a couple of gold stocks. Who would have thought AI today, which goes hand in hand with NVIDIA, which was up once 4%, is now down 6%.
That that's a very ugly chart.
Well, what this stock should be. This is NVIDIA.
Yeah.
I mean, it ran up, and this is a stock like AI. Snowflake, which was had a shot, and was, by the way, was taking what I consider the proper
Snowflake is melted.
Well, that had earnings, and that had its chance to stabilize. Another one that hung in there with good earnings, I'm not going to lie, is Splunk. That's another one that's good. So the nibbling on roadblocks down here, I get it to a degree. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't see anything going on with Nike. That's more emblematic what's going on. Even stocks that should be rallying and going the other way, like Kellogg, not doing anything. The Campbell Soup. The rotation to me is eerie. Citibank. So you know what I mean? I don't know. Even Ribbon gave it back and broke. It was going to break. So I don't know where to go to. There's Mega. Google naturally is the best of breed hanging in there.
That's a bad day.
It's a crowded thought. That's the problem. It's one of the few that are in there, in my opinion.
Look at that 3 drive. Take a picture, everybody.
No, that's
true. Look at that divergence at the last high yesterday. Not even close to 70.
Stocks like NVAX, okay?
And that's one the best, has been acting the best. So when the best start to roll over, like Google, the weak sisters get weaker.
Well, what I hear now that NVIDIA is out, if you will, and Powell is tomorrow, with earnings season coming to an end and seasonality, and this late August, September is not really in our favor. With Powell not really giving a good catalyst. If so, and NVIDIA and the rest of the stocks, like I said, what are there going to be catalysts? Macro catalysts, like Lewis pointed out, Disney. Disney had the earnings, it had the cost cutting, the CEO is out, everything, the baby in the bathwater was thrown out of this thing. So much like I think the market, sans the big eight, Apple, Google, whatever it may be. If Powell doesn't say anything, what are the catalysts going to be near term?
That they're
Upside.
almost done.
But
that they're almost done. Inflation's under control, or the economy still is too strong, and we're going to have to continue on this path. So those are the options for what he's going to say. And, home prices are going up again, and the Atlanta Fed is talking about a 5% GDP, but then you've heard downward revisions of employment numbers. He'll probably say both and make us guess. We might ease unless we're continuing to tighten.
Well, you know what? I can't.
How about that?
That's
Fed gibberish.
That's probably like 20. That's probably, I believe that's like in the Marist poll, maybe like 33% believe that.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't know. Listen, I could very easily say what you want to hear.
Look at these uranium stocks.
That's
Nothing can stop them.
It's uranium and for some reason vaccines. It's uranium and vaccines, Coach. I'm not a doomsday guy, but
I wonder if they've come up with a vaccine for radiation poisoning.
I don't know yet, but here we go.
That's how they. Yeah.
34 new 52-week highs versus 132 new 52-week lows. Stocks here.
That's very unusual. I read something about it with the size of the move. That it's very rare. They had more stocks down in NASDAQ than up with that size of a move to the upside. Very unusual.
That's why I wanted to point that. Did what I wanted to point out. It's a lot of news here. Here we go right here. Stocks near 200-day support. I mean, you have a couple of sexy ones here. Well, not really. Merck, PVH, Philips User, Okta, near resist. So yeah, I'm trying to trade tactically without having a macro opinion. I am back with the conundrum. I don't want to sound cheesy or corny, where I am more in flux about doing anything long term. Short term, I got no. I can finagle. VIX is at the highs. You know what I mean? Or I can finagle. Nevada's going to act this way. Stocks that are hot, like Nevada, pins, whatever it might, they stay hot for a couple of days. And when you have these type of ranges in 30-minute bars, I actually, besides trying to sound intelligent for everybody else and Coach, it really doesn't matter to me because I am trading price action. Because this time with the volume and movement, I am trying to trade the levels on individual stocks, keeping in mind the GLD is taking cold, the VIX is popping and everything like that. This is kind of active at this moment. Nevada's at a 30-point range, give or take. You know what I mean? AI for the day. You know what I mean? I get what's going on, but pre-market, the stock's 33. First of all, it was 36 pre-market. You know what I mean? The stock's had an $8 move.
Yeah.
If I buy 10, whatever, I know maybe I try to take $1.50 out of it.
NVIDIA's had a $70 move.
A $70 exactly. I wasn't even so.
Yeah,
I'm looking to take $1.50 on some pivot levels. I'm not trying to say that's it. I'm not trying to put on a portfolio and walk away and go play golf or whatever. I'm not saying that I do that, but I'm not. This is not the time where a lot of times I say if you want your positions to work, don't watch them. This is the antithesis because my forte, for lack of a better term, is entry points and volume and sentiment fluctuation, for lack of a better term.
All right, so Mike is working. It's it's work.
Isn't it, Mike? This is what I asked for, but you sound a lot. It's a wiser market right now. That's why I want to leave the floor a little bit. No defense to you. It's a wiser market. You want to be in the room. Whatever I'm going to say in the next 5 minutes might be irrelevant for the short term. It's going to be relevant for what coach says, because this is what's developing longer term. You've got to be in the room to really see any of my
Yeah, oh,
flip.
night and day between a trade and a forecast.
Right, I could flip.
And it's
So,
all time frames. It's all
right.
about time frames, right?
So what I would do is I would go like everybody else, and what I do every day, especially these type of days where, you know, there's Fed speak and there's sentiment reversals. This is all you have to do. You got to go to TradeGATEHub. Where's my screen? Right here. And I'm going to leave it off here because you know what? This is actually what I want to do instead of talking anymore. Go to TradeGATEHub, sign in like the same as everybody else. Go to the red YouTube channel like everybody should be on right now.
Yeah.
And you're going to go watch your video at 9:30. Okay.
I didn't do one today. I did it yesterday.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But it's okay. So anyway, Mike, room is getting a little more active.
Well, we got 306 views yesterday.
Yeah.
The room is getting more active.
And the room is, you know, people sharing ideas. Paul's back from the mountains.
No, we like it, Paul. We need
Yeah.
it.
Okay. Well, let's just keeping on.
Here's another one. Yeah.
See
Like
what the fall brings.
You know,
I like the grains too. If there's anything stock wise, I know that one that Hugh Henry mentioned, but if maybe the fertilizer stocks are getting ready to go.
it was down big today in the reverse. CF I was looking at.
Okay. Yeah.
Third day down too.
That was a pullback to buy.
The third day down on CF.
Okay.
Stock went. See, another reason. Stock goes. Yeah, that's why we're tactically trading.
Yeah. So, you know, right back to where it broke out. All right. I like ags. Just throwing it out there.
No, that's fair.
If you have time this weekend, build a silo. Harvest is coming. Fill it up. People will love you in about a year.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Dale. God, I haven't talked to you for a while. Could we have a few bushels of corn?
Well, remember like five
beans? Huh?
Remember 5 years ago, a barrel of oil was negative.
Yeah.
Like if you owned a barrel of oil, they would come to your house and repossess it. Maybe the silos go up.
They pay you. Yeah, they pay you to take the oil. Take it off my hand.
Yeah.
This will be the opposite.
That's what I was saying. So stop building silos. That probably out of what carbon.
I'm not talking nuclear silos either.
We're buying carbon fibers.
Grain silos.
Coach, carbon fiber silos.
All right, I like it. It's an IPO right now.
We heard you, Paul. Paul, we need you. Nice trade. Okay, Coach, we'll leave it at that. All right, today's Thursday afternoon.
Yeah, it feels like Friday to me too, bro.
It's mid. What's he say?
It felt like Friday to me too.
Did I say Friday?
It feels Thursday, but you almost said Friday first. But anyway, good luck the rest of the day, everyone.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
See you in the room.
Stay in the room. Thanks.
See you in the room.
Cheers.